did post a tweet a couple days ago, and it was about the Tigers rotation heading into next year. So obviously the rotation right now, you have Eduardo Rodriguez, Skubal, Manning, and Reese Olson, and then you kind of just plug in Casey Mize when she gets healthy. And then the question was, do you think the staff is good enough to compete for the division in 2024? I'll start with you, Cameron. With that staff right there, obviously you're hoping you bring back Eduardo Rodriguez, which I don't know about you guys. I'm really hoping he's in the Tigers uniform next year. And then it's kind of just Erod rolling with the young guys and seeing what they can do in 2024.
So I think the staff will be the biggest part. So I think the Tigers have a very good bullpen, and I think they even have a better bullpen than what you might see on paper. But because they've been so taxed, they're starting to show some weakness right now. So if I'd like to plug in another veteran somewhere. I love Reese, but if the Tigers hypothetically they retain Erod, right? If they could get a Michael Rinzen back, or hell, spend the money for Aaron Nola, being the Aaron Nola sweepstakes, another veteran, and then moving a Reese Olson, Alex Faedo into the bullpen just gives you more length. I'm trying to see here. Yeah, the Tigers are third in a division right now in runs allowed, at 655, and the White Sox and Royals are 70 and 100 more runs allowed. So yeah, I think if they can get a more consistent starting rotation as to where you don't have to send Turnbull down to work on stuff, get injured. You don't have to plug in Alex Faedo every other week for spot starts. You don't have to have an opener for Joey Wentz every 10 days. I think if we get some more consistency, definitely if the rotation's strong, the bullpen will be strong. And I think that in itself will help the Tigers compete. And even this year, I don't even think the rotation is the problem. I think the problem's the offense. So
fair enough. Yeah, when you look at John's tweet and you look at those five guys, I don't know what the percentage of Erod being back is. To me, it's probably under 20%. But so if he does leave, then yes, they have to get into the veteran market and compete for one or two good arms. If he does come back, I like the two options you gave. Lorenzen would be a perfectly fine guy to bring back. There would be nothing wrong with that. Aaron Nola would be the big get. I mean, that'd be pretty exciting. I think that would have people buzzing around the Tiger Nation. So the other guys, there's so much variance there. I mean, how many of those guys have even pitched, I don't know, 125 innings or more in a season? I mean, Skubal and obviously Erod. But the rest of those guys, I mean, there's, are you going to get 30 starts or even 25 starts out of Matt Manning? Casey Mize, when he comes back, what is he? He could be fantastic, as I've talked about the last couple of podcasts, and I won't repeat all of that. But, but again, he's coming back from Tommy John surgery. We don't know what that's going to be. And then Skubal, it's really interesting. After that good start, I looked up a couple things. He's really, I don't think it's a fluke either. He's keeping the ball in the park incredibly well compared to where he was 2 years ago when home runs allowed just bedeviled him. He gave up like 35 homers in under 150 innings. Right now, he's given up 3 dingers so far in 58 innings. And he's done that by his ground ball percentage is up like 35%, 14 percentage points from that season, from 2021. If he, at that time, I thought if he could just learn to keep the ball in the park, he's going to be a star. And he is doing that right now. So that could be their arm that they build around, assuming he can stay healthy.
Yeah, and in terms of like the free agent or trade talk, we had a comment from Tyler Parker who mentioned Paul Blackburn. I haven't really kept tabs on him this year, but I know he's a guy who's had success in the past. He could be a trade target as well. But yeah, obviously, if Eduardo Rodriguez doesn't come back, then you're going to need a veteran starter. I've looked at I have the list pulled up right here. I mean, guy I've heard is Jordan Montgomery. I know people were talking about that on Twitter. If he's a veteran, you could give a 2 or 3 year deal to if you lose Erod. Another guy I saw was Julio Urias, kind of tying into the news that came out today. I know I was just asking if you guys saw that or not.
Yes, not
Yeah,
good.
that was
Not good at all.
unfortunate. Not good. Blake Snell, another guy as well. So it'll be interesting. But I want to ask you this guy. In terms of Reese Olson, I feel like he's looked really strong. I think he has really, really good stuff. What is his ceiling compared? Because Cameron said he wants Reese Olson to be in the bullpen. Is his ceiling not a starter? Because I think he looks better right now, at least a little bit better than guys like Matt Manning. And I feel like he deserves to be talked about on the same level as a Tarek Skubal, a Casey Mize, or a Matt Manning for the Tigers' future rotation.
I will say that Olsen has the strikeouts that I thought Matt Manning would be getting at this level. He has. I thought Matt Manning would be the one throwing wipeout pitches. It's Olsen. It's somehow. It's not that I don't think Olsen can be a starter. It's how many times can he get 3 times through the lineup. We need guys who can get into the 6th inning. I'm just not sure if Olsen will be able to consistently get into the 6th inning. Somehow Matt Manning's been doing it. He hasn't been striking people out. He has a BABIP in like the 150s, which is not going to be able to be maintained. But
he's not walking people either.
Yeah, he's somehow everything hit into play is turning into an out for Matt Manning. Hopefully we don't see him blow up. I know he's coming up against the Yankees, right, at Yankee Stadium, which is giving me some worry for his next start. But I don't know. Let's see Olsen as a starter through the rest of the year. Let's see him in spring training, and if he can consistently get 3 times through the lineup, then obviously he's a starter. But if we start I think Wentz had the same. Wentz has been awful this year, but last year he was kind of having the same issue, getting 3 times through the lineup. So yeah, I think that should be the goal for everyone: 3 times through the lineup, and Erod has been the only one consistently doing that this year.
It's interesting. They've pretty much Faedo. They've been talking about making him a reliever this year, right? They moved him to the bullpen. He's probably going to get some 2-inning stints. You could see, in some respects, Reese Olson going down that path. I mean, that makes a lot of sense, right? He throws 97. If he's in the bullpen, maybe he's throwing 98, 99 at times when he really airs it out. And I think he could be a really good reliever, and I think he could be a multi-inning weapon out of a bullpen. But I think they keep him starting until he proves he can't do it. Until they have better options. Which would be the best of both worlds, right?